Hi everybody, welcome to lesson 2.2 where we're going to discuss graphing with x and y intercepts. First up, let's talk about the definition of an x and a y intercept. An x-intercept is a point on a coordinate plane where our graph will cross the x-axis. The y-intercept then is going to be the point on our coordinate plane where a graph crosses the y-axis. For an x-intercept, we'll always have an ordered pair with some value for x that corresponds to our equation, but the y value will always be 0. This will allow the graph, whether it be a line or some other type of shape, to sit on the x-axis with an ordered pair of x and 0. Opposite of that, a y-intercept is going to have an ordered pair with 0 as its x value, and then some value for the y value in the ordered pair. Let's look at some examples so that you can apply the application of graphing with x and y intercepts. First up, we have the equation 2y plus 3x equals 18. We're going to start off and we're going to first find our x-intercept. Remember, with an x-intercept, we said that the y value in the ordered pair was always equal to 0. Therefore, in our equation, we're going to substitute 0 in for our y value. So instead, I'm going to have 2 times 0 plus 3x equals 18. When I multiply by 0, it's going to disappear. Therefore, I no longer have a y value in my problem. I simply have an x value that I'll be trying to solve for in order to locate my x-intercept. If I divide both sides by 3, I'm going to get that x is equal to 6, therefore making my x-intercept 6, 0. So there you see I have my x-intercept written as an ordered pair 6, 0, and then I can plot that on my coordinate plane. I'm going to move over 6 and up 0 and plot my point. There's my x-intercept. Again, the x-intercept crosses the x-axis, and as you can see, my blue point is right on my x-axis. Next, I'm going to find my y-intercept. In the definition of a y-intercept, we discussed how the y value is going to be some number, but the x value in that ordered pair is going to be 0. So back over in my example, this time I'm going to take my original equation, and this time I am going to solve for y by making this x value 0. So I'll have 2 times y plus 3 times 0 equal to 18. This now allows for my x value to completely disappear when I multiply by 0, leaving 2y equal to 18, dividing both sides by 2, so that I get y equals 9. So I now have a y-intercept of 0, 9, which I can now also plot over here on my graph. I will move over 0, but up 9, and plot my point. For my y-intercept, my x-intercept got erased, so I'm just going to plot that again. My x-intercept was 6, 0. Once you have your x and your y-intercept on your graph, you can connect your 2 points together, making a straight line. And there is the graph of my function. 2x plus 3y is equal to 18. Let's try another example. For my next example, I have the function 3x minus 4y plus 12 equals 0. First, we're going to begin by finding our x-intercept. Keeping in mind again that for our x-intercept, we should get some numerical value for x, but the y value of that ordered pair will remain a 0. Therefore, in the equation that I've been given, I'm going to substitute 0 in for my y value. At this point, I'd like you to pause the video and see if you can solve this equation by yourself in order to find the x-intercept. When you hit play again, you'll be able to see my work and check your answer. So you can now check your work. When you solve this equation, you should get x equals -4, which means my x-intercept will be the ordered pair -4, 0, which I'll now plot on my coordinate plane over to the left 4 and up 0, so that my point is on my x-axis as the x-intercept. Next up, we are going to find our y-intercept. So now I'll go ahead and find my y-intercept. Remember, with a y-intercept, we are going to try and find a y value by plugging in an x value of 0. So for finding my y-intercept, I will be making sure that my x value that I plug in, again to my original equation, is going to be 0, so that we can solve for y. So this time, my equation will look like 3 times 0 minus 4 times y plus 12 equals 0. And we'll go through and we'll solve this. You can pause the video right now if you'd like to and see if you can solve for y on your own and come up with the same y-intercept as I do. When I multiply 3 times 0, I will get 0, so that's going to cancel out. So I can bring down -4y plus 12 equals 0. Subtract 12 to the other side of my equation to move it over to the right. And divide both sides by -4 so that I have a y value of 3 and therefore a y-intercept of 0, 3. On my coordinate plane, to graph that, I'm going to move over 0, but up 3 to plot my y-intercept. And lastly, I can just connect my 2 points together to have the straight line for my function. There's one more example that I'd like you to try. The equation 2x plus 5y minus 10 equals 0. But we're going to end the video here, so you can try this example on your own and bring it to class tomorrow, and you can check it in class. Have a good one.